let's just sew whatever. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am having mic issues, so I'm doing a quick voiceover, but we are making the Charyn handbag from Kaur Threads. I loved making this bag. I absolutely love the way it turned out. I love the shape and the way it comes together. It was so much fun. It has a removable crossbody strap. You can see there it has two slip pockets, one in the front, one in the back. So it takes a lot of magnets. It's got two grab handles, a zipper panel closure. On the inside it has a Welt pocket, a zippered pocket, and a slip pocket, and I made it really crooked, but I would make it better the second time when I'm not being bothered by a 5-year-old. Zipper pocket with an overlay. I love an overlay, that's what I said. The side pockets, side panels have the magnets there so it can cinch in and have a nice secure top closure. I don't know what I'm saying. I said I'm Lauren, nice to meet you. I'm a sloppy sewist. Yeah, because I messed up parts of it. I didn't realize the print couldn't be directional on the front panel, and I did not have enough vinyl. So if you watch the cutting video, you'll have seen that I did that. It didn't work out the way I'd hoped because of the way the front panel is sewn together. But it kind of looks cool, but it is causing that front to dip out, so I'm gonna try to make it again. But overall, it's such a great bag. Yes, great design. She did a great job. I loved it so much. All of the materials are from my website, mormino.com. And yeah, we can get into making it now. Yay! We are gonna get started on making this bag, the Charyn handbag from Kaur Threads. Kaur. I keep telling myself I'm gonna look it up. So we've got a few changes that we are making. I am changing up the handles to be double-sided handles and straps, and then if you watched my cutting video, you'll know that I needed to make an adjustment because of the vinyl that I chose. Will this adjustment work in the end? We'll find out. You will have already known by now if it worked, but I'm going to start by top stitching my D-ring connectors. I have cut and interfaced this as one piece, and then I can cut it apart. So I'm going to go ahead and top stitch this. This is a great place to start with testing your machine tension, making sure that you've got everything correct. I am using a Tex 70 thread. I love the Amman bonded threads, either one, bonded poly, bonded nylon. I can't tell a huge difference. It's just the color is my preference. So I've got that top stitched. I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to work on these pieces here. So if you didn't watch, I wanted to use my print in a direction that it couldn't work. So what I decided to do was cut two pieces, sew them together, and try to make that work. We're going to see how this turns out. So I've got my seam allowance marked out, and I'm going to sew these together and then just kind of leave that where it is. Normally I would feel the need to like top stitch this in a particular way, but it's now the one size it needs to be, and hopefully it works. All right, so now we can pretend that never happened. So if we circle back to our reference markings that we need to make, this would be our front back slip pocket, and we need to create a mark in the center along the lining side. We could also use the paper piece if we had it, and I don't. So, all good. We'll find the center of that, and then we'll make the mark. On both pieces. And this is the side without any interfacing. All right, so now we can work on our handles and our crossbody strap. I'm gonna need a lot of double-sided tape for this. I have decided to create double-sided straps. So what I did was I cut the length required for both of those straps, and I cut a 2-inch wide piece and I cut a 1.75-inch wide piece. I'm going to apply 1/2-inch double-sided tape down the center. Move my clips out of the way. And we are going to do this for all of the pieces. And you could start with your crossbody, you could start with your handles. Either one will be fine. Let's get the moon sand, kinetic sand out of the way. And if you can't easily eyeball the center to add your tape, you could do 2 lines of 1/4 inch wide. I wouldn't do anything thinner than 1/4 inch wide double-sided tape, otherwise it might lift. The tape that I'm using, I actually sell on my website. It is from Welt and Work Co. And it's one of my favorite double-sided tapes because it sticks well for me. I have heard people say that they don't like the way it works, and that's why different materials are created, different tapes, you know. But I like how easy this one is to tear, and it saves me a lot of time because I don't need to then grab a pair of scissors, and I'm not going to hurt my hands trying to rip something that doesn't want to be ripped. So I'm not going to waste time folding each piece and then taping it together because the tape could lift. Any tape could lift over time, especially if things take you a while. So what I'm doing is just working with one side. And tape will peel like this, the backing, if you don't have it fully pressed down, just FYI. I'm gonna start not at the very tippity top. I'm going to kind of start in the middle and work my way out. I'm just sliding my hand across to press that down into the tape. And the reason you don't want to start from one end and then work your way to the other is you're kind of stretching it in opposite directions that way. But if you do it like this, you're not really stretching it. You could also use interfacing to help prevent any stretching and pulling, but usually this works fine for me, my materials, and my machine. you might have a different experience. So there's that. You can see it's kind of looping right now, but it's not going to in the end. And I'm just slowly pressing those down. So I apologize, I'm not doing this exactly how she wants it done in the pattern. I just know that I have a preference on how my straps turn out, and that is a change that you're allowed to make, in my opinion. You have my permission. I don't know if that means anything, but you can change your handles and straps if you'd like. Okay. You can see no twisting. It's nice and pretty. So we'll leave that for a second and I'll work on this other one. Let's make sure we give it a good press and then peel that tape. And if you have trouble getting tape to peel, what I do is I try to press a corner down nice and tight, and then I peel the fabric away from the tape because it's easier for me to get a hold on the fabric than it is the tape sometimes. All right. And I'm being a little more careful with this one, making sure to press it right up against that line. The materials that I'm sewing with are all available from my website as well. This print may not be available, but this style of vinyl, and it is a mid-weight luxe vinyl. Luxe vinyl on our website refers to the microfiber backing that creates this luxurious leather-like experience. I don't know, I just love it. And it almost has a similar weight to cork, our mid-weight luxe. So it's very domestic friendly, industrial friendly. The only negative feedback we've had is that it can tend to shrink when interfaced. So just be mindful of that. If you're using a vinyl that you're worried is going to stretch, you could use waterproof canvas to interface it. All right, I've got this selvage there that I'm just going to cut off. And then if you want, you can just eyeball place these together. I like to use a little bit more tape, but this time I'm just going to use 1/4 inch down the center. I don't want to use another 1/2 inch because it's going to create a strap that doesn't have a lot of flexibility because it's just like so much tape. I'm going to peel off just a little bit and I'm going to center. I'm going to peel the tape as I go. Oh, these are so pretty together. Oh my goodness. And I am just eyeballing this, but you could also measure it. And pressing that down. There's no point in using the tape if you're not actually going to press the layers together. So make sure you take a little moment to press that down. Okay. And now I know I have a full bobbin, my stitch length is good, my tension's good, back stitching, and I'm just sewing at 1/8 of an inch from the edge of my accent vinyl. And I'm sewing across the end, pivoting. And now we can add our hardware. We need 2 snap hooks, 1 slide adjuster, and since I'm using vinyl for my strap and it's not like a really thin vinyl, I can use the wide mouth slide adjuster so that there's plenty of room for that strap to easily adjust. But not too easy. So the hardware comes with a paste film on it usually, and that helps prevent scratches. You can actually save this and use a little bit of water or something to stick it back on if you store your bags to sell at a later date. Okay, and I want the strap accent to actually be inside. I want it to be like a surprise. So I'm folding over that end, which also hides that I didn't have enough vinyl to meet the other side. And I'm just gonna sew a little box stitch. And if you would like to, you can knot your threads. You can rivet, whatever you'd like. I'm going to take my lighter and then with the wrong side face up, we'll take our snap hook, slide that through, and then we're going to go up and over the center bar. You've got a nice loop there. And then we'll fold this side under as well. And I'll do a box stitch here. And then you could also just choose to rivet that if you wanted instead. And that is our crossbody strap completed. I just love that little happy pop on the inside. Okay. And so now we're going to do that again for our grab handles. I am doing the short handles. I like the way it looks visually. However, you might like the functionality of the long handles, so you could do that. I just like the way these look proportionally, but that doesn't always make it the easiest to use for the user, so keep that in mind. And again, I'm going to work on one set at a time. I'm not going to do both bottoms and then both tops and then put it together, because the tape could loosen before then, and then what was the point of taping it? And this is another reason you don't want to like tape it before you get to your sewing machine, because it could pop. Before it's time. And if you have trouble taping on this side, you can just flip it over. I noticed mine weren't looking as good when I taped it from this direction, so just flip it. Why not? Adding another little bit of double-sided tape on the center, pressing it nicely. And I'm going to line this up. I believe this gets sewn into a seam, so I'm not going to be super worried about my ends of my zipper, or of my handle. Just want to get that centered, pressed, and then I'm going to trim my excess. And I'm going to top stitch this. Double checking. Yeah. So pretty. Again, press that all the way down. Dang it. I used to feel like double-sided handles were super tedious and a little exhausting, but I have grown to appreciate how pretty they are. If you are interested in other fun straps, Erica from Lavender and Twine has a triad strap pack with just different kind of straps that you could create. So yeah. And if you are someone who is new to bag making and you kind of feel overwhelmed, you could just make your handles. Just make one handle one day and then do another step another day. You don't have to finish this all in one go. Sometimes I like to say that to myself even, because I get a little overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to get all this done. And it's 10 p.m. and I should also sleep. And it's okay, you can go to sleep. Well, I can't, but you could. No, I can too. Come on. this vinyl. Okay. Crossbody strap, crossbody strap. Okay, so now we're moving on to the zipper placket. I don't know how long this zipper needs to be, so I will check my cutting list and I will cut it to what it needs to be, which is we need a 13. I don't like to use my Kai scissors to cut my zipper, so I'm not going to. 10-inch long. But I think I cut out 2 pockets. Maybe only 1 zipper pocket. I don't know. And then we're going to add 1 zipper pull to each of those. My interior pocket pull, I'm going to add 1, and then my top zipper, I'm going to add another so that it's got that opening at the top to add like a tassel or keychain or whatever. All right, and then for my zipper placket, we want to turn the tape at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to do that with my hands. And I'll clip that together. And then I'm going to use my lighter to melt the ends of the zipper tape together. You could also sew this. Sometimes when you sew zipper tape on an industrial, because it's a little bit thinner, it's going to pucker, and I just don't want that. Ooh, I'm so excited. All right, we're gonna add our zipper end, and then we're gonna grab our zipper placket pieces. And if you, okay, I was like, if you can't find your zipper end, just do it later. I'm gonna add some tape to that to help me hold it in place. Just a little bit. And just folding it in half so I know where to end it. Or you could measure it, that works too. And then we're going to top stitch and then pull your threads to the back. And if you wanted to elevate this piece, you could have edge coated it prior to sewing it on, but I think it's gonna look just fine. Or you could just use a metal zipper end if you prefer that. So now we can move on. We're gonna mark 3/4 of an inch on both sides, both ends. I'm gonna use just a regular. I think I need a new refill and I just don't have any handy. Go figure. All right. Double-sided tape and fold to meet those lines. I'm going to use 1/4 inch wide. You could use 1/8 inch if you wanted, but I don't think it would hold for as long as you probably need it to. Alrighty. The side with the stabilizer. We're going to measure. So I'm kind of imagining where I want my zipper to sit. And I'm going to make that line on either side of the zipper placket. Apply double-sided tape. Yep. Okay, and so where you're applying that double-sided tape is where your zipper will sit. And your zipper is going to go face down. With that right turn right up against that edge, face down. That way the fused side becomes the exterior. And then we're going to fold that down. You can add another piece of double-sided tape if you're worried about anything shifting. I'm not super worried about it. And then you can unzip your zipper. You know what? Let's just do it. As if I don't tape my lining and my exterior together, please. All right, so we're lining up that folded edge and then just pressing all that together. And then a 3/8 inch seam allowance, or as close to it as you can. Moving your zipper out of the way. We're just going to go all the way, and then you can trim a little bit of that vinyl out of the way, just to help with any bulk. And then we're going to pop that out. And I like to press one side at a time with that seam nice and flat. all together. And then we're gonna just top stitch that all the way around. I like to start on the most open edge so I can close that off. Back stitch, you're hiding that into the seam. We're gonna come to a nice corner, point and pivot. And I like to sew that open edge shut. I'll trim all those threads. Okay. And then we'll repeat this on the other side. I'm just adding a quick piece of double-sided tape to the other side, but I know where that line is where I want to add this next zipper. So this is going to go face down, right sides together. Making sure you've got your zipper pinched correctly. Okay, and everything should line up just right. I will fold that back down over this side. And 3/8 of an inch. And you can just completely unzip your zipper at that point. And trim the excess away. I didn't trim it on the other side because I didn't feel like loosening the tape. Just a girl. And if you can't get that corner to pop out nicely, just kind of maneuver it. Okay. And then I'm pressing one side at a time, instead of trying to fight both to look perfect at once. Just control what you can, and then the rest we'll figure it out. Okay, that's different. So I'm going to start on the longest side so that I can close that. You do not want to start top stitching without being able to hide your back stitch. Okay. Oh, it's so precious. Okay, and then we're going to mark our center. Normally I would just fold that and snip it, but it is the exact width of my ruler, so why not? Okay, so now we're going to work on the bottom panel. We've got the base. we're going to mark a line around all sides and top stitch that. That's going to help keep the base attached, which is good. We want that. Alrighty. That's empty. Can't lick that. That's what she said. Do I have refills? I probably don't. Oh. I was gonna say I probably just have like 5 million empty pens. Okay. This one is not empty. Might have been dried out. So what I did was I just blew on the bottom of it to kind of help reactivate and push everything to the tip. We'll see if that works. Hey, it worked. In case you weren't sure. And this is a nice glossy vinyl, so I know that the marker will come off of it. The pen will come off of it. All right. Stop with your needle down and pivot. And then we're going to stop. To end that in the same hole. It's a little bit longer, but it'll be okay. And then we'll pull our threads to the back. Check we didn't pull one we shouldn't have. And then whatever thread starts to pull up the one you're needing to tie is the one you want to tie with it. So like if I'm pulling on this one, when I counter pull on this one, it pulls each other. So you want to tie those together so that you don't mess up the tension. I guess I want to tie those together. You could do whatever you wanted. But if you came here for my opinion, that's what I would tell you. Okay. Lovely. And then wipe that pen away. And then she says optionally you can do another row, and I don't want to. I said what I said. All right, so I've got these screw-on purse feet, and so I'm gonna need scrap foam to help me with these. And these were all given little template pieces, and I don't have that with me. But I'll make it work. So that's my center. That's my center. My brain broke for a second. It's all good. All right, and since these are screw-on purse feet, I need a hole for the screw to go through, making sure I can create a nice clean hole. And then some of these come with longer screws than others, so I apologize. We're updating it to be a little bit longer, so keep that in mind. And you're just going to need some foam to help counteract the size of that post. So we want to put the screw through the foam, through the bottom, and then attach the purse foot. And you can keep the paste film on them. I like to start that with my hand, and then I'm going to hold on to this purse foot and finish screwing that on. So I'm going to take the paste film off. I'm not worried about it. But this is where just little tiny pieces of foam come in handy. You can compress it, poke a hole. You're going to put your screw through that, through the hole you created. Get that started. You could also add a little bit of glue, or I guess Loctite would be. And make sure you're holding your hardware into place. And then you could trim away a little excess piece. So I sell both the screw-in purse feet and the purse feet with prongs. So we've got options. 3 hours later. Got that on. Okay. Okay, I'm excited. It's time. All right. Label 1 is the front. Label 1 as the back. Moving our finished pieces. Here's our slip pockets. Okay, save that beautiful bag. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Put that away. I'm wondering if I should have already added magnets to these. No. Okay, that's just the nameplate, I think. All right, let's see. That one's cute. That one is also cute. I think they're pretty much the same. I'm gonna call this one my front, and that's where I'm gonna add my nameplate. And she has you add it 2 inches up from the bottom. Got my nameplate here. My center. And then I have been enjoying adding foam under my nameplate behind my washer. And it just adds a little puff around the nameplate. Okay, here we go. So we are going to mark a line 1 inch from each side edge and apply double-sided tape. I have a 1 inch ruler right here. Just use that. And then I'm not sure what to do about the bulk here. I'll just cut it open right there. Set it flat. I don't know if it's really going to make a difference, but we'll see. Might make it worse, actually. I don't know. Redraw that line. Okay. So we're going to peel that tape. We're going to fold that in. Okay. On the wrong side of the front and the back, redraw that line up from the bottom edge. From the right side, make a mark up from the bottom edge on both sides. And I'm using a removable marking pen for this. Right. Less deep, mark a line. No worries. Okay, place 1/8 inch wide strip of double-sided tape along the side edges, 2 inches up from the bottom edge. Stopping at the top edge of the stabilizer and keep it away from that open edge. Okay. And then if you're making a less deep pocket, you do it another way. Okay. Remove the paper backing, and the back side should meet. Okay, so I should have added that magnet. I did not realize. So this is going to be the female portion of the magnet. The male portion is going to be attached to your main panel. Lining up that center, marking that out. And then I've got some little scrap pieces of fabric in here to help me stabilize that a little bit more. Okay, and then we're going to fold the edges down to meet the 3/4 inch line. Let's see how this goes. It's not going to work out how I'd hoped because I thought it would be centered. Dang. So if I did this the other way, it would work out okay, because then, no, I don't think it would matter. Well, we're gonna roll with it, and it's a cute little binding strip, if nothing else. All right. So I'm gonna place masking tape to keep it aligned, prevent it from shift, flattening everything. Start at that marked line, go up, over, and down. Long thread tails, 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and we're gonna do that twice. This time at 1/4 inch. So she's having you do all of these steps to each side one at a time, like at the same time, but I'm going to put one together completely and then do the other. I just really want to see how this comes together to understand it before I do both at the same time. And I know it's in the pattern. I read it, I read it, I looked it over more or less, but it could look so much worse. I'm good. All right. So we're gonna grab one of the panels. On the 2 front back panels, use an erasable pen to measure and mark 5 inches to the left and right of the center mark. Yeah. Hey. When did you get a new sweater?
Huh? I got this from Mom like ages ago.
Oh. Nice.
Maybe for my birthday or maybe Christmas last year.
Nice. Okay.
It's supposed to be really cold tomorrow and in the negatives.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Like -6 or -4 or something.
Oh wow.
And really like a lot of snow.
Yeah.
You have open so tomorrow? Are there a decent amount of people coming?
4 or 5.
Okay.
Yeah, for both days. I was like, that's fun.
Yeah, you might want to say something about Saturday. Just be like, hey, we're keeping an eye on the weather.
I did.
We'll most likely cancel. Okay.
Yeah. I pretty much left it in their court.
Okay.
Like, we'll be fine. Okay. Good night, love you. Sits within the marked lines and the top edge aligns with that. If the bottom edges do not match, that's okay. Use masking tape and clips to hold it all. This panel is now in the front. Okay. Okay. Cool. It's so cute. It would look a lot better if that didn't look like that, but it'll be fine. Alrighty, remove the clips, lift the bottom edge, and sew along the 2.5 inch line first. If you're not making the less deep pocket, so you'd either sew at the 4 inch or the 2.5, maybe at least a quarter. All right. Okay. So we're going to peel these apart. I'm like, when did I make a 2.5 inch mark? I don't know. Did I? No. I did on the wrong side. Okay, great. Cool. So I'm gonna sew across that line first, and this is gonna be inside your side panels. You don't want to see this stitching, and I'm gonna sew a box, kind of. All right, and then we can tape all that back together. And then we're going to sew starting at those lines that we made elsewhere. And then at this point, get rid of your marking pen. very methodical with the saliva removal. Sorry if that's disgusting to you. All right. And we're just gonna sew those shut. Oh, okay. And we're gonna add a rivet. Begin your next one 1/4 of an inch away. Got it. From the inside line. So what I'm gonna do is actually start in the hole of my top stitching on the other side, and I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna pivot and come back up. And I'm gonna stop at that 1/4 inch line, leaving both of those thread tails nice and long. That way it's just a little bit faster for me. It's gonna look so cute with a little rose gold rivet right there. Stop it. Okay. So on the outside edge, we're starting right in that same hole. Pivoting over. And we're going to sew up to marked line. Bien. Hey, baby. Yeah. Hi. Okay, and then we're going to baste the bottom shut. And if there's any excess, you can trim that away. Alrighty. Make a mark in the stitch line gap to add the rivet, and then we'll add a little bit of stabilizer to that so it doesn't come peeling out. And then add the other magnetic snap. So what we want to do is press to find the indentation of where we want to add this other piece. Hi, pretty baby. Is that my band? Hi. Yeah, well, hi. So good to see you. CJ's brushing his teeth. I was like, what is that noise? That is a sturdy top of the bucket. But like, here's what it is. So I've got my holes, those little slits marked. Oh, sorry. And then that should, yes, click nicely together. And then I think I can hole punch this. Just right there. Don't cut any threads. Just right in the gap you've created. And we'll add a 9x9 rivet. The ridiculousness of the top of this pocket. I'm so upset. Like, I'm not as upset as I would be if I just couldn't have used this fabric at all. But you definitely have to keep in mind how that works. Now, if you're like, I don't want to do that again, I don't think you have to, because it's actually not a very deep pocket. I would have wanted that to be like almost the whole thing, I'm being honest. Rude. But you don't have to. I'm just like, it's abruptly short. So if you only did, if you did it at 4 inches, did I accidentally do it at 4 inches? Somehow, yes. It's okay. I love the way it comes together though, and like it does almost appear hidden because of how printed this fabric is. I'm really excited overall. But now we get to do that again. Except I'm also like, I don't want to do it again. But I want to do it again. All right. I just don't think I could do anything differently with the bulk of that. So it is what it is. But we're going to add our magnet. This is going to be another Audi. And then I need my washer. What I'm really enjoying is like, this is the most complicated part of the bag, truly. Everything else I've done before. I've never created a slip pocket quite like this. And the nice part about how she has you place your magnets is if your measurement isn't perfect for this one, it doesn't matter because you're attaching the other side later. So however it ends up lining up is fine. Okay, and then we're going to measure 1 inch. Ten out of 10, I would make this bag again so far. out of a completely solid vinyl so that I could make that all one piece. Or even just one where the direction wasn't so particular. It would have been fine. Okay, so I can see that line very clearly. I'm not worried about it. That's going to get folded to it. And then the line I need is going to be back here. And that needs to be, again, I think 2.5 it was. And that becomes your slip pocket. So. Definitely don't skip out on adding that interfacing. It's just going to help things from stretching and give it the extra structure that a pocket like that really needs. It's going to give your stitches something to sink into as well. I mean, unless you're using a ridiculously thick vinyl, then maybe not, but yeah. All right, so this is where we made that 2-inch line up from the bottom to add the tape. Just stick that together. So maybe that's where I kind of messed up. I don't know. All right, that's our lining. So this is going to stop at that 3/4 inch mark. Stupid top. Ugh. And again, at least it looks consistent. It's a cute little decorative area that lines up nicely. We're going to measure 7 inches up from the bottom for starting and stopping our top stitch. There's nothing worse than when you don't leave your thread tails long enough. But you can always use tweezers or hemostats to help you tie, and as long as you can at least tie it twice, you should be okay. And I really enjoy using curved snips, like a rounded tip, to be able to grab my threads because it's not going to rip as you're pulling. Okay, so we've got that. Sorry, I looked at my panel again and I'm like, gosh darn it. We'll find the center and we'll make those measurement barriers so that we know where things should start and stop. Okay, that's good. So we'll peel this up. Okay, and now I have that measurement, but my 2-inch measurement isn't there. So that's interesting. I don't know. It looks accurate though. So I'll go ahead and stick with that line, but I feel like if you wanted it to you want it to sit deeper, you totally could lower that a little bit. Or I could just be not fully understanding. Which is my own comprehension issues, not the patterns. I take full responsibility. Okay, so that's good. We've got that attached. And so we want to quickly remove our barrier markings. And before I secure that again, I'm going to make an indentation in the shape of you, a golden tattoo, where the female magnet should go. And the last set of magnets are for the side panels that kind of snap together. They don't kind of do that. They really do that. They really do. This could be a really fun place to add a woven label, or not a woven label, but a tag inside this area as well. Because when it kind of slides open, only you're gonna see it, or whoever purchases, so it could be a funny spot. All right, I need to put everything, there we go. repeat those lines of stitching, stopping 1/4 of an inch on that second inside row. And if your print isn't as busy as mine, your top stitching is going to matter, so be careful. But the thread color that I picked, it's really not obvious to me, and with how busy the print is, it's not obvious that my thread and stitching are not perfect. Okay. To pull my threads to the back, I just give it a very gentle tug so that I have my bobbin and top thread pulled to the back. And tie those off. All right. Remove any markings, and then we're going to add our rivet hole right in between. And add your rivet. I feel like I've recently used a lot of rose gold hardware. All right. So cute. So cute. And then before I move on, I did not make my 3/4 inch lines, so I'm going to do that really quick. This bag is done as a drop-in liner, which I'm excited about. Okay. Oh, I did not baste the bottom edge. And then if any of that is uneven, cut the excess so that you don't get confused later on. All right. side panels now. Right. Gosh, it scared me. Evermore just randomly climbed out of a box. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, yeah, what is that? All right. So I've got my centers marked out. I'm going to grab all of my remaining pieces. And washers. And I'm first marking all of these lines. And then I'll carefully make little cuts. Like, which tool do I need? Don't cut too far past that washer line. And once I have all those cut, I'll then flip these over and match the diagram so that we have the right pieces in the right spot. Because on one side we want our female, which I would call the innie. And then on the other side you want the male. And this is so that these match. And then she says to fold these inward on each other so that they don't wear down the material over time. And if you can't do this with your finger, I'll often use like a dull pair of scissors to help me flatten that down. Okay, and then we'll reverse that to where it's the male on this side and the female on the other. You just want them to be mirrored. I don't think it would be the absolute end of the world if you mess that up, but you definitely don't want to have two male on one side, two female on the other. That's not going to work. You want these to close on each other. Like this, to help bring that in. Okay, and then we also want to measure and mark that 3/4 inch at the top. If you haven't already. Called out. All right, now comes the fun part. Place the front panel right side up, okay? And align its bottom edge with the base. Okay. And these should be the exact same size. And we're going to use a 3/8 inch seam allowance. And then it says to seam roll, but it does not show a top stitch. And we're going to repeat to attach this to the other side. Oh, these colors together are so pretty. Okay. And then there is a little trick for reducing that bulk. You're just gonna cut away the excess at the corners. Okay. And now we're going to add some double-sided tape. Let's put that back for a little bit. Eighth inch wide. And we're going to stop 1.5 inches from the top edge on that side panel. Now we will attach the side panels to the base. Okay, oh, too far, and then too far. Oh, I'm so excited for the lining. So excited for the lining. All right, on the right side of both side panels, we're gonna strip these. Begin with a side panel that has the male on the right, no, male on the right and the female on the left. And this is going to be attached to the left of the base. Okay. With right sides together. Place the bottom edge of the side panel against the left side edge of the base, aligning the center marks. Okay. The side panel is intentionally wider and will extend beyond the base seams of both sides. That's great. Use a 3/8 inch seam allowance, making sure to backstitch. And do that to both sides. Okay. So 3/8 inch on the base. Both sides. Okay. And now, with right sides together, oh wait, not the bottom. Okay. At the bottom of each side panel, snip 3/8 into the seam allowance of the front panel and back panel. Okay, so that's to give it just a little breathing room. Does it show where she's doing that? Photo C. Oh, yes, okay. So just right there up against that corner. Thank you. I didn't even see the scissors. I didn't know what was happening. Easy enough. Okay, so now we're going to peel that tape. We're going to line up the top edge first. And then you've got the tape there to help you fit it all together. Nice. Okay. Top to bottom back stitching at the beginning and the end. Repeat the same process everywhere. And then you can sew along the bottom edge again to help reinforce, but I'm not concerned, so I'm not going to. This is cool. I have sewn a lot of boxed bottoms in my day, but never one like this. I like it. I like it. I feel like we're gonna run out of bobbin pretty soon. All right, and so for that 1.5 inch area, we're actually gonna snip into that to press that open. And we'll trim away the rest. And the bottom area as well. All right. Ooh, she's so cute. I love the structure. I'm mostly happy with how things are turning out. Again, if I just didn't need to have this print, it could look a lot better as far as that pocket goes, but that just means that I will have to remake it and redeem myself another time. All right, so now we can add some double-sided tape. Oh my gosh, it's 11:30. Yeah, I'll have to finish another time. I don't want to be up this late. It's looking so good. So I'm going to tape this open. And then we'll tape the top down. Now normally I wouldn't worry about taping that until I was ready to like put things together because it'll lift, but I'll just add some clips and it will be fine. Okay, so then we're going to use a 1/4 inch double-sided tape along that top edge to help keep everything together. Oh, goodness. And I like to place my tape along the top of the edge where my fabric needs to sit in the end. And you can do this in several separate sections if you wanted to. I'll just do it in one. And then we'll start area. And clip. Goodness, 2 hours already? Excuse you. That is my pen cap. All right, and then we're gonna turn the bag right side out. I feel like it seems so much bigger in the pictures. It's a really nice medium-sized bag, but I could see this being really cool to print or make it a little bit bigger to make into like a really, really fancy laptop bag. Okay. Ma'am, I'm about to turn this bag, okay? Could you remove yourself? So it has a nice structure. It's not too stiff. It's hard to turn, but it's also not like slouchy. Press into those corners. It's really nice. And then to get a feel for what that's going to look like when we're putting it together, it's going to sit like that. It's got 2 slip pockets there. I think that looks really pretty. Yeah, wow. Although I love the angular shape with the side panels out as well. I almost wish it were like 2 inches taller. but it's really pretty. So feel free to take a break. I'm taking a break, and I'll see you in a second for the lining. I misunderstood.
What is this carpet?
Dorothy?
Is it the earth?
It kind of looks like it, doesn't it? Hey, Dorothy, I can't talk right now, okay? If you need me, let me know. I misinterpreted the cutting chart and how the zipper pockets go together, so I cut extra of what I needed. But that is okay, because then I just have some for another. So we're gonna work on our welt pocket, making the marked lines on the wrong side of our facing. And this welt pocket is a technique that you could use in any other bag that you'd want to make as well. So we've got that marked out. We're going to grab our lower lining.
Are you gonna take that back there?
This bag. Am I going to take it to HQ? Yeah. When I'm done with it?
You are?
Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to center this.
Okay.
We'll get back on the couch, Dorothy. I'm going to center that on the lower laying panel 1 inch below. And you can tape this down into place. I'm just going to use clips that'll catch it. You could also use masking tape. And we are going to not get things caught where they shouldn't go. So down and around. And she's got some great techniques for a nice consistent.
What's that your thread up top?
My thread up top.
It's crossing. And it's like making a wavy.
Yeah, it's doing what it's supposed to. So we're using a smaller stitch length around the outside edge of that welt pocket. And then I am going to increase my stitch length back to my preferred construction and top stitch, which is a 5. And we're going to cut this open. I do not sew across the sides. I don't think she does either. And that helps prevent puckers. And then I'm going to crease my fabric before I turn it, so that I've kind of trained it to sit a particular way, and I'll push that through.
Hey, Mom, I can get the zipper.
When I need it.
I can get and put it off to the side.
When I need it, I'll let you know.
If you need more thread, I'll get it. And I make sure I'll find the same. Or you can choose rainbows, just like in your rainbow phone.
And then we can secure that with double-sided tape if need be. I think it's looking pretty good. That's
That's really good. Why are you using Why are you using rainbow? How is a rainbow color?
it's okay. I don't have one over here. When I need it, I'll let you know. Okay, so then we're gonna grab our welt strip And we're going to fold that in half. And you want to keep your tape close to that center so that it doesn't like pop open over time. I'm just going to fold that in half.
Are you ready for it?
No, baby.
Look at me.
Alright, and then we are going to top stitch.
Ah.
Down and around using our top stitched length. So now on the right side of the strip, run a little bit of double-sided tape. And it looks like this is on a non-top stitched portion. So now stick the strip to the wrong side of the lining panel, placing the folded top edge of the strip right beneath the top edge of the pocket window. Okay, okay, I've done that wrong. But that's okay. You want the folded edge that isn't top stitched to be up there.
Are you ready? Are you almost? Tell me when you're almost ready and I'll get it just over.
So we're gonna line that up. Okay, tops will
And I'll get it.
go to sleep. I'll put that down.
Bro, is that everywhere, Ben?
That's Ben.
Ben, get down. Get down, Ben.
He's following.
I can't even see mommy.
So we're gonna center that, and you want to see just a teeny tiny little gap at the top. That's what that's gonna look like.
Can you watch on the back of the camera?
Mhm.
Can you watch the back?
No, there you go.
Oh.
Okay.
I wanna watch.
Pocket lining. Now we're gonna grab our
I
lining
wanna watch
piece.
your video.
You can watch it another time.
Ah.
Alright, and then we're gonna tape this
One photo.
to the bottom.
I did not know I was gonna go.
The facing. So right now it should be wrong side up, facing sides are right sides together. Tape that together. Pressing that flat. Here, do you want to send that out? And we are going to top stitch underneath starting an 1/8 of an inch pass
Ben, stop.
and moving your thread tails long.
Here's a photo. It's gonna flash. But guess what? Photos, when they flash, does not like that.
Yeah.
It's gonna flash, Ben.
So we'll pull those thread tails to the back and tie that off.
Ben. Ben.
And then it says to apply another strip of double-sided tape underneath that stitch line, and this is so we can get everything to just sit nice and flat when we turn it. Press that down. And then we're gonna flip that up to the top edge at the facing. Pressing everything down. And then we'll complete our top stitching process as if it were a zippered pocket. Starting. Daddy can show you. I don't have a picture right now. Daddy might be able to drive you there sometime.
How about you?
Maybe. Okay, we're gonna allow him. When we run out of bobbin in a strategic place, just kind of pull that back up, back stitch if I can. Oh,
What? What happened, Mom?
just my thread got caught.
And
I have an idea.
his claws are sharp.
Can't put him there. There's another cat there.
Why is there two cats? Why? They are weird and why are they distracting Mommy? Why are they giving you the cameras and people can see it? Her.
Okay, so there's that.
Are you ready for the zipper? Almost?
I'll let you know.
Almost?
I will let you know.
Just like, are you almost? Just almost? Almost?
Yeah.
I can get it for you
I will let you know.
really quick.
I don't need it yet.
I was gonna get it. I'll just.
I don't need it yet. I will let you know. Okay, so everything looks a little crooked on my end, but that's okay. It's still gonna be a pocket. It's still gonna look cute. Not a big deal. We're then going to close off the sides of that pocket. Like I said, you can at least get the idea of it. So we're just gonna Open that to the side. The top is closed off. And sew the side shut. And then you can just kind of verify the top is sealed. Inside looks nice. It's very crooked, but that's okay. It's covered in cat hair, so it's gonna be fine. So I'm gonna set that aside for now and work on our zipper pocket with overlay. So we'll need our other main winding piece. Fold that down.
I'm sorry.
Dorothy, get up.
I'm trying. Okay.
Add our double-sided tape to the top and bottom. And find our center. And I imagine, okay, this is 1.5.
Are you ready for the zipper now?
You trace that out, but I'm just gonna lay this 1 inch from the top.
Oh,
So we'll center that into place. And then just gently press it flat. Looks good. And we're gonna sew around the outside edge only. Leaving.
Are you doing what you say?
I don't know if Dorothy asked, is everybody doing what you say? I don't know. They'll watch it after I'm done recording. Maybe they'll comment and let me know. Maybe they're doing it their own way.
Really?
Yeah, maybe they're doing it their own way. Maybe they have a special way of doing something.
How can you do the bag?
Well, sometimes you can change things a little.
What's the rule? There's rules of this bag.
Yeah, the rules of the bag.
Do what it says. I do what the people say.
Mm-hmm.
Do with the bag.
Yeah, that's true.
They can't break the rules.
Try to stop where you started. Pull those threads.
What's what Daddy's doing?
Sleeping.
Real? Is our Daddy on top of us?
No. Not quite.
Where is he laying?
Technically, it'd be like right over there.
Maybe.
Because right now I'm in the kitchen and you're next to the garage. Yep. Okay, so once we've got that top stitched
like
around, we can
almost
cut
to
the
the
excess.
door?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm almost to the door.
leaving about 1/4 inch of the fabric around the overlay. And do not cut through your fabric. And I love using those super sharp Kai scissors to make that even easier.
How about the pink scissors?
that's what I was using.
The different pink scissors with the light pink and stripes on them.
Yeah, you use those more than I did. All right, Dorothy, I'm ready for my zipper now.
What zipper do you want? You want a rainbow one?
Oh no, I've got it right here. I'm sorry. Careful of the cords. Let me help you. Let me help you. I'm sorry. I thought you knew I had one already. Okay, so she's got a little bit different of a method, which I'm excited to try, where she's going to tape the zipper into place first and then worry about adding the lining. Dorothy, I'm so sorry. I thought you knew I already had zipper picked out. And I thought you just wanted to hand it to me. I didn't know you wanted to pick it out. How about we design a bag tomorrow?
No.
And you can pick out the zipper then. Okay. So we'll center this, moving everything out of the way.
No. Cool.
And get yourself cozy again. Now that we have that taped into place, we can grab our zipper pocket lining, and I'm going to add tape along the top edge. We'll flip this over and we'll line this up with the bottom edge of our zipper here.
I really want to try cutting fabric with those scissors and try just like opening them
Which scissors?
that you were using.
Okay, you can sometime.
The open, and then you just cut, and then.
We'll try them sometime.
That's cool.
Okay, we'll try it. I'll show you. So long thread tails. And we're going to stitch underneath, starting at 1/8 of an inch from the edge. We'll stop at the other side, and we're going to pull our threads to the back. And tie those off. Okay, and then we'll press this down. You can tape it. I really don't feel like the materials that I've chosen require me to tape, so I'm not going to worry about that. Just a nice finger press. And then we'll lift this up. I'm going to add tape to that though. Just go ahead and tape it here. And we'll press that so it's nice and straight. And since this is a drop-in lining, we don't need to worry about keeping any zipper pocket open at any point. All right, so we're going to finish closing this zipper pocket around the zipper with our needle in the hole that we started, tracing 1/8 of an inch around. I'm going to go across the top, stopping at that 1/8 inch and coming down to meet where we left off. Long thread tails, pull them to the back. That was poorly timed.
maybe. Hey, that cricket, maybe like that thing that just maybe that was dead.
That creaking. Yeah, that's just kind of the house. All right, so now what we can do is close off that. And that is our zipper pocket completed. It's just pretty fun. That was a cool method.
The whole entire bag.
Hmm?
You have to do the whole entire bag.
It's okay though, I did half of it last night.
Do you ever open that Monster High?
I don't,
Do you ever want to open it?
I don't know. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to work on our slip pocket with trim. We're going to lay it so that it is 12 inches wide. And we're going to measure on the wrong side 1 inch from each side edge and make a mark. And then I'm going to use 1/4 inch wide double-sided tape to fold it in. So I'm laying that up against the mark I just made on the inside of it. And you could go all the way with it.
Open the Monster High one. The Monster High.
What about it?
Are you gonna open it?
No,
Ever?
maybe. I don't know.
If you want to, maybe you can share it with me.
If I want to, maybe. Yeah. All right, so we've got that folded in.
I saw Julia.
Yeah. And we'll press that.
And I saw her. You like her too?
All right, and then we're gonna sew across the top so it sits flat.
Julia.
I do, I like them both. And this will keep it from popping open.
I don't feel good.
What's the matter, baby?
I don't know.
What I think it is that you're very tired and you need to go to sleep. You had a long day. Does your head hurt?
My brain hurts.
Oh yeah, you kind of got hit in the face today. Yeah, so you need to just breathe and rest. All right, so we're
In
gonna
the face?
see. Well, yeah, you've got a bruise on your face. Didn't you get hit today? Hit something?
No,
What happened?
I don't know.
So you can pick whichever side looks better to you to be the exterior and whatever side the interior. We're just going to lay this right up against that marked line and then we'll fold the other side down. And this is a fun place to add a little woven label. Someone can grab one really quick. I think I'll just do my little initial, well, I don't know. What do I want to do?
Did you make those little circly things?
I made one of those embroidery hoops up there.
Yeah. What did you make?
I made the one that looks the worst.
Which one? The little Charmander? I mean the purple one?
No, it's the one in the yellow hoop. Okay. As always, I'm just going with the standard. You look really pretty today.
You mean
Classic.
the heart one? The heart behind it?
Yes.
You made that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks little.
Yeah.
You did that?
Mm-hmm.
I did not like that. I like the purple one.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
Did you make that one?
Mm-mm. All right, so I'm just encasing that woven
Who made
label.
all these?
I bought them off the internet.
Who made them?
Different people. And we just want to press that nice and flat. And then we will trim the excess off and top stitch.
Is there any turtle one?
Yes, there is.
I like the white one
Mm-hmm.
and the purple one.
Those are great choices.
What is your favorite?
I love them all. Okay, I have to add another
Even
row. I
yours?
didn't catch the other one. Oh, I don't love mine so much. That's okay.
Right?
Hmm?
Does it look stupid?
It's just not as good as the others, but it was a practice. I was practicing. Sometimes you can make something and it doesn't have to look good. It doesn't have to look as good as other people's. As long as you're practicing. That's for you too.
What?
Huh?
What did he say?
Nothing.
What did he say?
I said that's for you guys too. For anybody who's watching. It's for them to know too. Like, it doesn't have to look perfect. Alright, this is going to go on the side with the zipper pocket. So I've got my center pieces marked. And this is going to go a distance up from the bottom. Lining up the centers. And then something you can do is use some masking tape or some washi tape to help hold it down, because you can't just sew this into place. Can you? I think you can. I don't know. I'm gonna get it started. I'm gonna lay this down because I know that I don't feel my zipper pocket on the side. Okay, you're not supposed to start stitching there. Come on. Jammed my machine anyway. Because I wasn't holding my threads. And you're going to start top stitching around under the vinyl. Because we're going to add some decorative rivets for added strength as well. Okay. I need to just take the pop out. There we go. Oh boy.
What?
I have thread really jammed in there. It's okay, I can get it out. There we go. Just looped around the needle uptake, or the... Okay. We're going to start that under. Fold that out of the way just in case. And then what I like to do is what I call Pac-Man style of top stitching. So I'm going to stop on one side of my center crease, stop underneath that vinyl accent. I'm going to go over like one stitch and come back down. I'm going to do one little back stitch to catch, and then we'll continue on around a pocket. And then you can pull your threads to the back and tie off. And then we're going to be adding 3 rivets. So I'll mark where those are going to go. And those are going to go on either side of the vinyl, and then one in the center. Got either side of that, and then one in the middle. Okay, so now we've got all of our pockets done, and there is a little folding activity to get your lining to sit, and I think this is a pretty cool idea. And I was like, oh. And it's to like train the bottom of your bag to sit where you want it to. Fold that. This just looks terrible. All right. Now we are going to set these aside with our zipper. We're going to grab our upper lining pieces. We're going to grab our D-ring connectors, and we're going to grab the handles that we made so long ago. And I want to decide now, before I move on, how do I want these? Do I want it to be this way? Do I want it to be this way? To where it's like a inside secret that it's double-sided. I think I want inside secret that it's double-sided, kind of like our crossbody strap. Okay, so that means I'm gonna want this way. So that my peekaboo strap, I'll call it, is on the inside. So I'm just gonna set that there for now. We are going to fold this piece in half, find our center, and I see in the illustration there's some little snips, so I'm gonna also make little snips. I love using my little Kais for that exact reason. They're so sharp, and you're able to just make this perfect little teeny tiny 1/8 inch snip if you need to. And then we are going to mark out from those side edges. And this is where our handle will start and stop. That is not even. What's I doing? We're going to clip that in place. So if you made double-sided handles and you want those to be pointing out, you're going to be doing that the opposite way, because this is your lining And that is going to be your exterior. So this is pointing out. All right. So there's total 2 1/4. All right, before it gets too crazy, I'm gonna baste these down. There's a lot going on. And you'll technically want 1/4 of your handle into the seam allowance, but I just want to get the handle on. It's currently where I'm at. Seam line. I'm going to set that aside really quick and get the next one. And then we'll worry about our D-ring connector. Making sure that that's seated evenly. And that's going to go once again, this ornamentally, it's going to go inside of that. And there it is. Make sure it's not twisted. Yeah, okay. No, not inside, outside. She's even asleep. Okay, watch me slowly lose my mind. That's what I was thinking. Used to be really good in the bag back in my day. So 8 bags in a day. Tell my therapist about this one. Okay, so for these D-ring connectors, you are going to want those to be on the same side of the panel you're looking at, because these become mirror images of each other. So don't try to do anything fancy. It's already gonna be fancy. So we're gonna measure over from the center. A measurement. Okay, I'm not telling you what it is. Don't ask. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's right. We're also going to mark out where we will be adding rivets, but we're not going to add those rivets. We're just planning for later. This is city planning. We're going to punch that hole in a little bit. Okay, so we are going to measure 1/2 inch up. And that is where we will start our D-ring connector. And then these are our last hardware pieces, which is always exciting. And then we're gonna fold that down and over and top stitch it. So the way she's got you adding this, it's going to reduce bulk quite a bit. Oh, okay, gotcha. So it should be in the seam allowance by about 1/4 inch, which would match with your handles if you followed that. And then I think we'll be riveting that in a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So something you can do just to help keep it all straight is flip it up a little bit higher. Right. So once again, 1/2 inch up, and I'm actually making a 1/2 inch mark that's 3/4 inch wide, and that is just further helping me know exactly where to place this. We're going to stitch across that marked line, keeping your stitches inside your top stitched connector. Fold that down about 1/4 inch and then baste that into place. Like I said, we'll clip that up. Go ahead and punch the holes really quick. Keeping that as straight as possible so we don't have any crooked holes. Yeah, you can punch through the whole thing. Just like as I was doing it, I was like, wait, do I want to be doing that? Yeah, that's fine. Is it good to be in the water? Alrighty, so we're gonna flip back to our lining panels. We're gonna stick with our zipper first, and this is gonna get attached to the panel that already has a zipper so that our zippers can go in the same direction. If you don't care about your zippers going in the same direction, there's no help for you, but it's not a big deal, truly. I'm gonna baste that so we don't have any shifting. Oh no, you're not in the way. That's fine. Aw, the babies are sleeping. And then we'll grab one of your upper lining panels. It does not matter which one. And we're going to sew that at a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Right sides together, keeping your centers lined up. And then we're going to flip the lining down. We're top stitching through the lining. It's pretty. I like it. And we're going to be adding a rivet through that area on both sides of the lining once it's ready. And now this is pretty cool because you've got 2 rows of stitching and a rivet holding that D-ring into place. So it should not be going anywhere. And if you hadn't already made those 3/4 inch marks along the top edge, you're going to want to. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but it's important. All right, so that's 1/2 complete. We'll grab the other sad looking side. Yours won't be, but mine is. It's okay. They don't all have to be perfect. You find the center, just kind of work your way out. Those handles can add a little bit of bulk. You just want to keep those as lined up as you can. We're doing 3/8 of an inch. And we'll top stitch the same way with that lining pointing down. Give that a nice press. You can either seam roll it, iron it, or just finger press. And if you're not confident that all of your pockets or like face down or anything, can't hurt. Just check it before you start stitching. And then you'll notice that your D-rings are on opposite sides, which that was the goal. So you did it. Good job. Marking where I want my rivet. I think I'm done with my marking pen, so I'm going to move that for now. Punch that hole. Add our rivet post and cap and press those down. They're all brown, who cares? All right, you've got your lining done. Good job. Not quite. So we're going to clip this all together and sew that at a 3/8 inch seam allowance. And I like to make sure that I line up these lower lining panels as well as I can. And she has this interesting shape for the lower lining so that you don't have to increase your seam allowance. It's just automatically done for you, which is pretty cool. Okay, and then we're gonna add some snips along the lining. And this will just kind of help everything sit together. Open the seam, lay that flat. We're going to sew the bottom shut. Yeah. And we'll press open the bottom seam. I'm going to apply 1/4 inch wide double-sided tape to either side of the upper lining. And that'll help make it easier to keep everything in place. I love the mid-weight Luxe vinyl for this reason. Like, it's not too bulky. It feels so nice. I did not make that 3/4 inch mark, so I'm doing that now. There we go. Yeah, that goes there. I gotta clean up my space. I don't need those, I'm gonna need clips. Okay. We'll need to sew our boxed corner shut trying not to be anxious to finish, but still have to get this edited and uploaded. Yeah, so we'll sit that nice and flat. Okay, open the inside that piece, the bottom. Sew it, trim it. I double-sided tape into your top on the wrong side. Okay. Butterfly open the side seams. And that is a 3/8 inch seam allowance. And we're going to trim that down. Okay. Ooh, so pretty. I love all these colors that I picked to go together. Boy, there is just so much cat hair. I guess that's what seam rippers. Lint rollers are for. Hold on, I have to take a picture of my couch right now. All right. Yep. So now we're going to apply double-sided tape above the marked line. And really try to press that down. I'm using 1/4 inch wide. I wouldn't want to use 1/2 inch for this as it would be too big, and you wouldn't want to use 1/8 inch because it would be too small. So we want a Goldilocks situation. And I'll slowly peel and fold down that top edge. It should want to sit right on top of that interfacing so that it's not too hard to turn that down. And then I'm going to apply a little bit more double-sided tape to keep things from shifting when I put this inside my finished exterior. I'm really being careful to not stretch my vinyl. Just want to slowly press that flat. And then I'm just putting a little bit of tape here at the top below where I'll be top stitching, just so I can better line things up and not have any bad moments when I go to top stitch. I like my zipper pocket to be on the back of the bag. I'm going to press all of that down inside. Oh, that feels really nice. Okay. Okay, so we're going to take a second to find the center of our side panel. Because that's where this is going to meet up. I'm going to clip that into place. And then if you have your centers marked, make sure you line those up. I think we're good. And you want those to be meeting, not, you want those two layers to be even. You don't want one to be a little bit higher than the other, or it's going to make top stitching it a little harder than it should be. And then, just like on the other side, I'm going to take a second and just find the crease of my center and get that lined up. And if you have all of your seam allowances correct, things shouldn't be too hard to put together. They should just want to go. They should just work. I definitely want to make another one of these. This has been such a fun bag. Like right now, all we have left is top stitching. Did you hear that? Sounded so nice. We're gonna press that lining down into the bag. It fits beautifully. There is so much structure to this. It's insane. And the way that's gonna sit together is really nice. It's so pretty. Oh, for the purse feet? Okay, I think so. I was like, do I have a clip in the middle of the bag? Do you know? No. I have done that. Not gonna lie. I have left a clip in a bag. Unintentionally, of course. Okay, so now all that's left is to top stitch this. And we're gonna kind of want to move things out of the way. We're not top stitching through the handles. Those are going to be flipped out of the way. And then we're going to be hole punching and riveting through that, but not our slip pocket. So quite a bit to work with. I'm going to change my bobbin because the one I had in here, it would have made it just barely. I think I would have cried. yeah, I would have gotten it, but I have plenty of bobbins wound and ready to go, so why even chance it? No thanks. Not today, bobbin. Nope. All right. If you have a cylinder arm, you could easily switch to that. You would have no problems. But the last thing I want to do right now is reset up filming. If it were just me here, I would consider it. But there's a lot more to it. Okay, so we want to have all of this pressed in and out of the way. Even these here, out of the way. You would probably want to top stitch this from the other direction, but I trust my machine and I'm going to do it this way. Also at this point, I'm like, let's just get it done. Folding that slip pocket out of the way, just being very careful. Keeping things lined up. That extra little bit of tape should come in handy. And you're really not sewing through a lot of layers here. And I'm using my hand to help me press everything. I'm getting close to that pocket area, so I'm moving it. Pulling our threads in. And she has a great explanation of how to hide your threads. It's just not going to be me today doing that. Can't be bothered. It's nearly midnight. If everything right now looked absolutely flawless, I would. But this is the last thing that's going to not look the best on this bag. So not gonna worry about it. Most important thing is that you didn't skip off the fabric, and I didn't. So I won. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. All right, and then you're not going to be placing a hole through your exterior or your zipper panel. It's just through, well, you're not placing a hole through your pocket. It's just through the main body exterior. And so I'm holding my strap into place where it needs to go and making a mark for that hole. And then we'll hole punch it. And you'll see I'm moving that pocket out of the way, taking my hole punch, 2 hands to get through all of that. And then make sure you're using the correct hole setting. I think I was using one that was a little big. Not a big deal though. And making sure it's only the pieces that I want to be making a hole through that I'm making a hole through. We're going to need 4 caps, 4 posts. And then we're going to push that through. If you use thicker materials, you might need to grab like a 9x12 rivet. I do carry those on my website as well as 9x6 rivets. But the standard is the 9x9, and I use that for 98% everything I make, personally. Okay, and again, that is not through your zipper panel. It is just through your main exterior and your strap. And then we are going to set those rivets. That is the last little bit we need to do. Super exciting. They're really sturdy handles. Okay, my rivets have been set. This bag is gorgeous. It opens nice and wide. You've got these 2 great slip pockets here. Satisfying sounds. It's zipper closure. We have this beautiful crossbody strap, and I love the way I've put these materials together. It looks so good. So you could carry it like that. That's pretty sturdy. And then if you want to make sure you close in those sides, do that as well. Just make sure that you don't over interface your side panels, or they're not going to sit well. And they may even fight against the magnets. You don't want that. Yeah, this is such a classy and professional looking bag. I'm obsessed. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope I did it justice. This pattern is currently only available in the Bag of the Month Club subscription, but it will be available on the Kaur Threads website. Thank you so much, Sandeep, for reaching out to me to do a tutorial, and I hope you enjoy this pattern. Thanks for watching.